Hey everyone, welcome to Greenlight. So today we're talking about Blu-ray Tuesday movies that are out today, and we have a big Marvel film that's out today, which is Black Widow. And there's a bunch of special features that we're going to get into and talk about those special features and what to expect from those special features, especially from a perspective of a filmmaker like myself and all of you watching as well. We're doing this live, so go ahead and comment down below on the playback or in the live chat now. Just go ahead and comment whatever you like, and I'll give you a shout out at the end of this live video. And we're gonna be talking about all the Blu-ray movies that are coming out today. And let's get started. All right, so this is really cool. As you can see, I have a more or less of a new setup here. I'm using my iPhone 12 Pro and connecting it with the lightning cable USB straight into my OBS, and it's coming out really good. I'm very surprised of how good it looks. My first tests were doing a three-parter of editing a movie trailer for Art Grid Challenge, the video editing challenge that they got going on right now. I will be doing a fourth and final one where I will be releasing the premiere of the actual movie trailer of that video contest, and that'll happen next week Monday. So expect that next week Monday. And we're doing a lot of really cool stuff like that here. So subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps me out here on this channel. Helps us all out here on this channel. So I see that it gave out a little bit here and there. My phone is currently right there. I was looking for my phone to see if I could turn off the Wi-Fi. It's okay. It's fine. Let's keep going and let's get started on the first Blu-ray. And like I said, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because we do videos like this every week. We also do filmmaking videos every now and again, so you'll find some filmmaking videos about any kind of filmmaking. I have digital filmmaking videos, so you'll find digital filmmaking videos about iPhone. Even my iPhone 12 Pro, I hooked it up onto a cinema rig and a DOF adapter, and you can go ahead and find that all here on this channel. And I talk about 3D as well, a free software, free 3D software as well. And the editing program that I use is DaVinci Resolve, which is also free as well. And all that's linked in the description below. You'll find it too. And you'll find in the description below IMDb links for all the films that are coming out today on Blu-ray, including Black Widow, which is the first one we're going to talk about today. And the first one you see here is the Blu-ray cover, the Blu-ray copy of the film, and it's all red, which is really cool with the Black Widow red kind of look. So this is really cool. I like when they do stuff like that. Excuse me, the Blu-ray, with the whole blue look is interesting, but it kind of, to me, without it being all black, which is why I like the 4K, having the black cover or the black cases kind of give it more of a neutral look, and gives every movie its chance to shine under that look. And the Blu-rays kind of give it it's blue and it's very specific. Well, now that they changed it into this red here like this for a Black Widow, it makes it feel more special just being a regular Blu-ray. So when you purchase the Blu-ray copy, it feels a little bit more special, just more of a feel on that. So this is the cover. Not going to talk about the back end here on this one because there's many copies coming out, and we're going to save the behind the scenes and all that stuff. We're going to talk about it at the end when we talk about all the releases because it comes with the Target copy. So let's talk about the 4K look, which is a slipcover, which I think is kind of nice. Sorry, taking a swig of water here. And from what I see here, this is sweet. Like, I like the little textures. The textures in the back, like in the background, have this like fading, like it's on a wall or something. which is really cool. I haven't seen the film myself, but go ahead and comment down below in the playback if you have, or in the live chat if you have as well. And I'll definitely love to hear about that. So let's move on to the next released copy that they have here, which is a steelbook. And this is the steelbook copy you could find at Best Buy, and it's pretty sweet. Not too sure who's inside there. This helmet could be the villain, I'm not too sure. But it's a sweet cover with Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson in the front. And in the back there, I see her teammate. I'm not sure who she is in the whole grand scheme of things. I do have to see that as well. And let's move on into the Target one. And the Target one, I kind of I feel like I would get the Target one more. I've been leaning a lot towards these Target copies, just on the fact that I don't know if you heard that, my phone just vibrated. I've been leaning lately on these Target copies though. The Target copies for Blu-rays and 4K special editions, they tend to come out with these little books. This one's called a gallery book, so you get a bunch of photos of the film, like screenshots and stuff like that, and they talk about the film and the world and all that. But sometimes you get what it is like a filmmaker's type book, which is something that I got with Star Wars, which was the last one, Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. That one comes with like a kind of gallery book type of thing, but I believe it's a filmmaker book. I forgot what it was called, but basically you get a lot of the concept art within the booklet, which is something that I love and is very inspirational for me in my work, as well as oh look, I came out, but basically it's good and for me and my work, as well as you guys out there as filmmakers, having these concept arts in your hands, and as a collector and everything, and being a filmmaker, again, like I love collecting it and having the special edition, having all the special features and everything that you can get for the film, as well as having like a gallery book like this, or a concept art book where I can learn about concept art and what they're supposed to look like, and not be so detailed out, and just have certain things, certain aspects of it, colors and stuff like that of the frame that you want to include, because these are all themes that you want in your film. So this is something that you can learn as a filmmaker, taking these Hollywood approaches, and not get too jaded from all this Marvel and all this, Star Wars and everything like that. That's all these big franchise films, and I love them. And trust me, I believe that these types of films can be very, very intriguing and smart when they're supposed to. And shout outs to Marvel for Emmy wins on their show WandaVision. Me and my wife just saw recently WandaVision, and I basically just rewatched it with her. We also rewatched Mandalorian, so Disney Plus is on a roll here with Emmys. So they've been on. They know what they're doing basically. So let's move on and talk about the special features more. And talk about what you get from this. That's really, really cool. So the Target version comes with that, and this is basically what what I got from Bluray.com of the Target backing. It came with the back here, so thank God for that, because there was no backing for any of the other copies, which they usually have. Before they would have like a steelbook back or a special edition from Target. So I'm going to fade in here and zoom in. As you can see here, there's deleted scenes, and usually deleted scenes and gag reel is usually more or less the same. Gag reels help you understand more of the fun of the fundamentals in filmmaking. Sometimes you make a mistake, you gotta laugh it off, shake it off, and just move on to the next take and try it again. Always can try it again. Deleted scenes are scenes that basically didn't propel your film forward, and this is something that happens when you write the film, and sometimes there's scenes that feel right when you're writing it, but when you're filming it and shooting it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you're editing it. It always ends up in the cutting room floor, so that's what becomes of deleted scenes. They're just scenes that end up on the cutting room floor, which is a thing they say back in the day when they used to cut film together and actually physically cutting the film with scissors and grabbing the film and cutting each frame, frame by frame, and just cutting it and pasting it together, either using a specific type of glue or tape. And I believe the tape was just for a temporary thing or something. So moving on from that, there's Sisters Gonna Work. So Sisters Gonna Work, work it out. Watch as Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh, I believe, train, fight, and bond to become a fearsome sister duo. Oh, so that's her sister, like straight up. I hope nothing happens to her, but that's her sister. That's awesome. So I just learned that. It kind of sucks because I haven't seen the film, so I didn't know that was her sister. But I guess that makes sense why she's in the back there. So that's really, really cool. So wow. All right. So I'm kind of stuck on that, but that's really dope. Like, just like I've been watching all the shows and stuff and all the movies, so it just kind of just like a spoiler alert, I guess, on that for myself and everybody else who hasn't seen this film. But basically here, this is really cool. So if you like stuff like John Wick and everything, they're really going to go on some real training. And Black Widow doesn't have superpowers. She's basically like Batman and anybody like in John Wick or something like that trains real hard and can do all these abilities in real life as a human being. So these are human abilities that can be done by anybody, but you got to train and you got to do all these things. So they show that here, and it's really cool because you could see how the actors bond together and sort of become sisters throughout the training. And that happens a lot with like team building stuff or army type of films and stuff like that. Whenever there's a troop or a platoon or something they have to put together for a film. So this is really good and really good for actors and directors. So I highly recommend any director that is interested in collecting these Blu-rays, kind of like myself, and creating their own films, to watch this and see how they bond and just see what kind of things that you have to do more or less in the bonding aspect of everything, so that you can have the scenes you get with these two sisters together, and they could talk to each other like sisters and like family, because that's the only way. So you need time, and time builds that fondness of human beings. So that's good, and that's what you need as a filmmaker and as a director. You got to keep that in mind. So basically, do a lot of pre-production. This happens all throughout pre-production. So when you're looking for locations and doing all this, have meetups with your actors. Play out the scenes, hang out with your actors. You don't have to have them doing training and all that. But for a low budget type of stuff, practicing and doing all that, and even doing a couple of shoots with off your phone, stuff like that, you kind of see certain things that you may want to work on or ask them to do. Maybe you want them to do something different because they couldn't do the other thing correctly in the way that you wanted it to look. Sometimes it happens. Artists want a certain look for a certain movement or something like that. So this is a good place to find that here in pre-production and doing that in training and all that. The next thing is go big if you're going home. And that's very true just in general with anything. The cast and crew reveal the intricacy of stunts that made the film so action-packed. So yeah, they're going to get more into in-depth of the action scenes and the stunts and everything like that. And I love that. And I always learn a lot growing up from DVDs when it comes to action movies, because action movies had a lot of special features, especially when it comes to the way they do their action. So this is an action-packed special feature and something worth checking out, like more than in a general sense. It's something you could definitely learn from and actually be entertained watching. So the next thing after that is filmmaker introduction. So I believe certain filmmakers in this film They're kind of new. This is a female director, so I guess they might be going into talking about the female director, and this is good because this is actually preparing. What do you call that? This is actually something that needs to be a change. And there's a documentary on Netflix that I recommended a while back about, and I'm trying to remember the name. It's something like "This Will Change All," or "This changes everything," I believe. Something like that. So "This Changes Everything." So go ahead and check that out on Netflix after this. If you have Netflix, or check out the trailer so you know what I'm talking about. And it's basically them revealing how there's not only gender biases in filmmaking and in film and in basically, I wouldn't say filmmaking, it's just in Hollywood in general. And it's something that happened and plagued this film too, talking about this because this has to do with filmmaking, so that's why I talk about it. And it's not necessarily a negative stance towards the film, but releasing the film on Disney Plus, even if it was for $30 premium, and simultaneously having it in theaters, it really hurt the film, or it was just against contracts with Scarlett Johansson. They didn't even tend to like talk to her about it. Now, with it being like any kind of like gender bias within this, I wouldn't say that's a thing that happened here, but in Hollywood in general, women don't get paid as much as men. And then when it comes to Black Widow, a movie had been pushed along so far along, like it just not even funny. So many years. I mean, so many years. Black Widow first was seen on screen with Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 2, around that time, I believe they did end up bringing it up with Jon Favreau at some point. I wonder what happened there. Jon Favreau kind of stopped with the Marvel Universe, but he stuck with Disney. I mean, he even revamped Star Wars, which is, thank you for that, But, Kevin Feige kept fighting for it, and now we're all here with finally with a Black Widow film, and it was needed to happen so long ago because this actually kind of is supposed to be in the timeline, like way before a lot of the films that came out. So I don't even know where it is in the timeline anymore, but so did Captain Marvel, and again, these are films with female leads that they just didn't want to get going, just on the fear that they may lose a lot of money. And these movies are $150 million budgeted films, so these films are hard for them to just take a big hit on. And that's why you gotta figure out different ways, and that's why they hire people like myself and yourself that need to be creative now in the independent micro-budget world, going into the independent $1 million picture, or so to speak, which is what we talk about here after this, is a bunch of $1 million pictures. So definitely something worth checking out. Filmmaker introduction, and they're going to talk about the filmmaker here, Kate. It's Kate Shortland. Kate Shortland directed this film. So go ahead and check her out. I have IMDb links in the description below for this film and for all the films we talk about here today as well. So I'm going to bring up the next film. Let me center it up. All right, so I believe I recognize this girl's face, the one here on the left. No offense, this is a transgender woman, male turned woman. And the reason why I'm saying this like this, no disrespect or anything like that, it's really because of the film that this actor has done before. And even if they're an actress or woman, male or woman, female or male, female actresses like to be called actors. So just need to be told that, so you know this in the beginning. So basically, this is an actor, no matter what, transgender, whatever, basically actor that worked on a really amazing film before this, which was called Tangerine. I haven't seen this film myself, but I've seen so much footage from it, and it's an iPhone footage, actually. I believe they shot this on an iPhone 4 or 5 or something, iPhone 5, I believe. They filmed it off of Filmic Pro on their log. I believe they did log profile. I don't think they had log profile at the time, but Filmic Pro, which is basically is an app that basically turns your iPhone into a DSLR. And you can shoot and have your depth of field and all that stuff, and you can add depth of field adapter, which is something you could learn here on this channel, which is something I mention a lot. And this person definitely worked on that film. This has what at Zola has nothing to do with that film and wasn't shot on on an iPhone, but it was certified fresh, it seems, down here on the left. So I highly recommend checking this film out. We do not have a back end here, so go ahead and check this film out. I don't believe there's any special features, but if there is, I always recommend all of you to get involved here on this channel and try to send it to me through Greenlight's Instagram, which you can find at the end here on the bottom right, and you can find that here on the bottom right, and reach out to me as well. So we're going to move on to our next film, and all these films, like I talk about, you can find it on the description below. IMDb links talking about the film. You can check out the trailers, check out the filmmakers and the cast and crew. And the next film we have today is Out of Death. Out of Death stars Bruce Willis, has Jamie King and Bruce Willis, the producers of The Irishman and Lone Survivor. Cool. Okay. So this film is now out on Blu-ray, so you can go ahead and check it out in the description below. I have IMDb links for this film, for all the films we talk about here today. And there's a trailer there. You can check out the cast and crew, and you could also check out technical specs too and see what kind of camera and gear they used on the film. So that's really good. Even the film perf, if they used film. So Zola, you could check out if they have that too as well. So that's kind of cool. Next film we have here today is Howling Village. Howling Village is more or less of like one of those $1 million pictures, and that is basically what these other two movies before this were as well. And this is out now today, and you can check out the trailers, check out the filmmakers and everything like that in the description below, where I have IMDb links, and go ahead and check them out after this live stream. And the next film we have today is Catch the Bullet. So I would believe this is another little bit over $1 million picture, and it's a Western film. Usually period pieces are a little over $1 million. They're tough to do under $1 million unless you already have a bunch of all these things, like clothes and props and all that stuff, maybe even the location for free. A lot of people do it for free, with short films, which is really cool. So this is out now. Catch the Bullet. It's now out on Blu-ray, so you can go ahead and check it out in the description below. I have IMDb links for this film. You can check out the filmmakers, check out the cast and crew, and all that as well, even the technical specs. So the next film we have out today is Masquerade. Masquerade is out now on Blu-ray, so you can go ahead and check it out in the description below. I have IMDb links for the film, and I do not have the back end. Like I said, I do not have the back end for a lot of these films today, so we're kind of powering through them. But this is out now on Blu-ray, so you can go ahead and check out the description below, IMDb links for Masquerade. And the next film I have here today is Hunters. Hunters is a sci-fi film that's also out on Blu-ray today, so you can go ahead and check it out from Shout Factory. And if you're a fan of Shout Factory and their horror films, this is a sci-fi film. It's a little bit different, so you can check them out in the description below. I have IMDb links for the filmmakers and for the trailer that you can check out as well, and for the cast and crew. There's even technical specs and locations. So the next film we have today is I believe this is a documentary, The Human Factor. The Human Factor is out now today. In the description below, it does have actual awards from the Academy Award nominated director of The Gatekeepers. So this is going to be quite interesting. I believe about Israel over there and stuff. It has fresh from Rotten Tomatoes, so if you love documentaries, even I believe could be a political one, I'm not too sure, but go ahead and check it out in the description below. I have IMDb links where you can check out the trailers, check out the cast and crew, and all that as well. Next film we have today is an independent film as well, and it's called Censor. Censor's out now on Blu-ray. You can go ahead and check it out. Again, with all these films, I do not have the back end right now for these films right now, so we're not talking about the special features. But if there is, go ahead and send it to me. Go ahead and let's talk about it. I'll tell you what you can expect from them and all that. We could do that here. We could even reintroduce it next week again if you want to get involved. Bring it back in next week and we could talk about it. So the next film we have out today on Blu-ray and Censor. You can go ahead and check it out in the description below. I have IMDb links for Censor as well. And for Crazy Fist, IMDb links down in the description below as well too. And I do have a back end for this film, in this action-packed film, but it's not doesn't have any special features. It's just and it's a slipcover, which is really cool. But the only bonus features that are here are the English language track, which is really good. Which is really good for all you action enthusiasts out there that don't want to read subtitles, which is cool too. But I highly recommend reading the subtitles, going and finding the ones with subtitles, because they usually are the best movies. I'm thinking like Ung Buck and stuff like that. Those movies are usually like the best that have subtitles. So don't expect like top-notch filmmaking then, you know. But there could be top-notch filmmaking here, so don't get me wrong on this film as well, even though they have an English track, but you get lucky sometimes. So we're going to move on to our next film today. Well, actually, it's a mini-series, and I did actually I believe we started the first episode of this with me and my wife, but we haven't come back to it. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this limited series here, but we love Kate Winslet here. I almost said Kate Blanchett. Sorry, Kate Winslet. We're a huge fan of her, and this is huge mystery type of show here. So I highly recommend this. It's also out now on Blu-ray, and it's a limited series. So I kind of like limited series. They're just a much longer movie. It's almost like watching Lord of the Rings or something like that. More or less, because it depends on how interested you are in it. But this is more of a mystery, like thriller, that's out now on Blu-ray, so you can go ahead and check it out. And yes, I'm a huge fan of Warner Brothers, no matter what they're doing now, even though they kind of hurt my man Christopher Nolan, but that's neither here nor there. So let's move on to another release that's out today, but it's our re-release. It's a re-release, and it's 4K. It's being re-released on 4K for the first time, and it's the Shawshank Redemption, another Warner Brothers release as well. So this is the 4K slipcover, and I do have here the back end for the 4K slipcover. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here, because I did own the special edition, the 2-disc special edition, the DVD version of it when it came out. Let me zoom in. As you can see, this is the back end here, and I'm expecting them not to have too many special features like redone or anything to new. So let's frame it up here. It's okay. Just get the record player right in there too. So the record player is really prominent in the film, and a huge deal in the whole film, and just feeling like the level of flight of just being free and free as a bird type of feeling type of thing. So in the special features, I see a commentary with Frank Darabont. Now I'm gonna take a swig of water because for filmmaking, Frank Darabont is a huge influence in filmmaking, especially in screenwriting and adapting books into screenplays. So I say that with huge admiration and huge respect too, because he was a huge influence on me growing up. I did see this film on DVD when it first got released on DVD. My uncle Gigi, he had a DVD player. He had the first DVD player in our family, and he purchased not only Shawshank Redemption, but he had this and the Green Mile. The Green Mile is an amazing film with Tom Hanks as well, and that's another great adaptation that he did from screenplay. But this being his first and an independent film at that as well, being I believe $1 million picture more or less. I'm just gonna call it $1 million picture, meaning it's just like a $1 million or $2 million movie. Anything under 5 million or under 10 million really is a low budget film for Hollywood. Hollywood looks at it as you're making $10 million budget movie. That's a low budget film. To me, as a micro budget filmmaker, going into thousands of dollars or tens of thousands, and moving up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's the option that we have now, and that's something that I want you to learn from in general. And that's something that it's like this channel is kind of like a news in a sense, in a way of like letting you know this is what's out there and that's what you can do. But basically, there's a lot of really cool stuff here to learn from, and this being his first feature film, and all the stories on how they got the location of the prison and all that, and shot the film and everything. I mean, it's really worth checking out all their limitations that they have back then, because we don't have those limitations now, especially with cameras and all that stuff. A lot of technology have caught up, like to the utmost. They have caught up to 10th degree and stuff like that. They've caught up. By far, they've caught up. So don't worry so much about tech and camera sensors and all that stuff. Go and make your film and get that going. So the first one I see here says plus more on Blu-ray. Plus more on Blu-ray, including 2 documentaries. So after the commentary, there's 2 documentaries. So there was like multiple documentaries too on the 2-disc edition, getting really in depth into what all I was talking about when it comes to him and his first film, Frank Darabont, and everything like that. So Hope Springs Eternal, a look back at the Shawshank Redemption. So they're definitely going to be talking about looking back into it, interviewing every actor. I'm not sure. I believe this is more or less could be a new looking back documentary. So that's really cool. So they're going to go and look into it, and they're probably just revamping and adding more to what was in the DVD version. And the next one I see is Shawshank, the redeeming feature. So that is definitely going to be talking about how it was a cult classic, I believe. Basically, it wasn't a huge hit when it came out in theaters, but when it did come out on VHS, it was just phenomenal. And a huge miss on the Oscars too, I believe. I believe it did get nominated, or it just was completely overlooked, or something like that. I think it was completely overlooked, and but it was it stays true into every filmmaker's heart, I believe, because of that. So the next one I see is the Shawshank Redemption. Here, 2 storyboards. I guess that's the Shawshank Redemption's 2 storyboards. Boggs takes a fall, new fish arrive. Okay, so these are storyboards. Again, storyboards are good for you to learn as a filmmaker, to learn all the shots that you need, and to be able to storyboard a scene and how to do that as well, and being able to see how it looks. It could be very crude. It doesn't have to be very crazy, the image and stuff like that. You could do stick figures and it's all good, and just name your shot, medium, from wide, medium to close up, whatever it takes to tell your story. And then photo galleries are good for locations. You see how they do location scouts and how they take pictures on their location scouts, including clothing and just props and stuff like that too. They do it for continuity too as well, because shooting on film back in those days, it's not like you can just put it, project it up and just watch it right after you film, kind of like what you could do with everything else nowadays. So moving on, let's after talking about the special features. I mean, this is chock filled with stuff. I mean, this is probably the most worth it 4K to buy this week, at least to me, aside from Black Widow. Because Black Widow actually has a lot of special features, at least fun stuff. Before independent filmmakers, people that are very, headstrong about it, and treating this as an utmost importance, and you're about to get into your first short film or your next film, and you're actually going to get into a film, and you're going to go and direct and make your film, I recommend buying this. It's definitely going to be inspirational, checking out the special features and everything like that, and what they're going to be talking about. You just got to have your ears open and pay attention, and you're going to hear a lot of really good stuff that can help you while filmmaking, and some inspirational stuff too. So don't worry about not shooting on film and all that stuff too. Just focus on how to be a filmmaker and creating a story, working with your actors and framing. That's all you need, and that's all that you should get right now. You only get what you need. So let's move on to the Steelbook. Now, the Steelbook is beautiful. This white and purple, God, like I'm kind of mesmerized by it, especially the inside here. This is when I'm just gonna say he escapes to prison at some point. I can tell you how, but whatever. Basically, it's raining here, and it's just like freedom and all that. So, and it's just beautiful. It's a long film, but it's very, very good. And it's adapted very, very well from a Stephen King novel. And this is only the first. Since he directed The Green Mile as well, that's also... The Green Mile is also a book that was written by Stephen King and then adapted by Frank Darabont as well. Another adaptation that was really well done is the first two seasons of The Walking Dead. And if you're watching it now, shout outs to you. I'm still kind of watching it as well, and I'm waiting for this last season to finish it. I heard that the seasons were ending, and the whole pandemic kind of gave time to finish it out, so I finished it out. So it was really, really cool that I love Frank Darabont. I just, miss certain characters. I think I hit a wall with Negan, literally, and just stopped watching it for a while, and then came back in during the pandemic. But the first two seasons are phenomenal, and they're done by Frank Darabont, so shout outs to him for that. All right, so that is definitely everything here on this channel here for us today. I don't see anybody here on the live chat, so we're just gonna call it quits for today. Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below in the playback or in the live chat, but there's nobody here in the live chat. I would be giving you here a shout out here, and basically I have some really cool video editing videos that you can go ahead and check them out, and they're going to be popping up here, and you can go ahead and check out these videos here. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. We do videos like this every week. We do live Blu-ray Tuesday videos every week, so go ahead and check those out, and I'll see you here next time. Later.